In the serene village of Soraya, nestled in the fertile plains of Uttar Pradesh, lived a young girl named Kavya. Her father, Ramesh, was a humble farmer, toiling day and night to provide for his family. Despite the financial hardships, Kavya's parents ensured that she received a proper education. Kavya was a bright student, excelling in her studies, and dreamed of a life beyond the confines of her rural existence. Kavya's academic achievements were the pride of Soraya. She had always been the top of her class, and her teachers often spoke of her potential. Her dedication and intelligence were her tickets to a brighter future. Despite their limited means, Ramesh and his wife Sita were determined to see their daughter succeed. As Kavya approached her 20s, her accomplishments began to draw attention from potential suitors. Among them was Dr. Abhay Verma, a renowned orthopedic surgeon based in Lucknow. Abhay was known for his expertise and had a stellar reputation in the medical community. He was 10 years older than Kavya, a fact that raised some eyebrows, but his status and wealth overshadowed any concerns. The proposal from Dr. Abhay Verma was both a blessing and a challenge for Kavya's family. While the match promised a secure and prosperous future for Kavya, the economic disparity between the two families was stark. Ramesh and Sita were apprehensive, but Kavya's future took precedence over their fears. They accepted the proposal, hoping that this marriage would bring happiness and stability to their daughter's life. The wedding preparations were modest, reflecting the family's financial constraints. Despite their limited means, Ramesh and Sita did their best to ensure that the groom's needs were met. They even catered to the alcohol demands of Abhay's friends, a significant strain on their resources. The wedding ceremony was simple but heartfelt, with Kavya stepping into a new chapter of her life with hope and trepidation. Kavya's first night as Abhay's wife was a revelation. The man she had married, respected and admired by many, revealed a side of himself that was both shocking and disturbing. Abhay had a range of sexual fantasies that were alien and overwhelming to Kavya. Raised in a conservative and sheltered environment, she was ill-prepared for the demands he placed on her. Despite her discomfort, Kavya chose to remain silent. She believed that her duty as a wife was to comply with her husband's desires, no matter how distressing they were. This silent suffering became a part of her daily life, a stark contrast to the serene life she had known in Soraya. Months passed and Kavya struggled to adapt to her new reality. One evening, Abhay informed her that they were invited to a party hosted by one of his friends, Dr. Rajesh, a well-known neurosurgeon. The gathering included several of Abhay's colleagues and their wives, a social circle that Kavya was slowly getting acquainted with. The evening started pleasantly, with polite conversations and a seemingly sophisticated ambiance. However, as the night progressed, Kavya noticed a shift in the atmosphere. The guests, especially the men, began to drink heavily, and the discussions took a more frivolous turn. Kavya felt increasingly out of place, her discomfort growing with each passing moment. The climax of the evening came when Dr. Rajesh announced the start of a game that he referred to as a tradition among their group. Kavya watched in bewilderment as a large jar was brought into the room, filled with car keys. The wives were instructed to pick a key from the jar, and the owner of the key they picked would be their companion for the night. Kavya's heart pounded as she realized the implications of the game. The casualness with which the others accepted this practice horrified her. When her turn came, she hesitated, her hand trembling as it hovered over the jar. But the pressure from Abhay and the stares from the others left her with no choice. She picked a key and discovered it belonged to Dr. Rajesh. The reality of her situation hit Kavya hard as she was led away by Dr. Rajesh. She felt a deep sense of betrayal and humiliation. The night with Rajesh was a blur of fear and resignation. Kavya's spirit was crushed, and her sense of self-worth was eroded. She returned to Abhay the next morning, a shell of the vibrant girl she once was. Kavya continued to endure her marriage in silence, unable to share her ordeal with her parents. She knew that the shame would be too much for them to bear. The fear of their potential reaction, especially the possibility of them taking drastic measures like suicide, kept her trapped in her misery. Years went by and Kavya's life remained a cycle of suffering and silence. She tried to find solace in small things, but the weight of her reality was always there. Abhay continued his practices, taking her to similar gatherings where the game was played. Kavya learned to detach herself emotionally, enduring the nights with different men as a means of survival. Her parents, unaware of her plight, grew older and frailer. Kavya visited them occasionally, putting on a brave face to hide her pain. She was determined not to let her suffering affect them, even though the burden was almost too much to bear. The turning point in Kavya's life came after the death of her parents. With her sense of duty towards them no longer a shackle, She found the courage to take control of her life. The years of abuse had taken a toll on her, but the death of her parents gave her a newfound sense of freedom. Kavya decided to file for divorce, a decision that shocked Abhay. He had never expected her to take such a bold step. The legal battle was grueling, but Kavya stood her ground, determined to reclaim her dignity and self-worth. The divorce was finalized, and Kavya was finally free from the chains that had bound her for so long. After her divorce, Kavya returned to her village. She found solace in teaching at the local school, where she could use her knowledge and experience to help others. The villagers admired her strength and resilience, and she became a source of inspiration for many young girls. Kavya's journey had been one of immense suffering, but it had also been a testament to her strength and resilience. She had endured the worst and emerged stronger, determined to live a life of dignity and purpose. Her story was a powerful reminder of the importance of self-respect and the strength that lies within us all. Kavya's life in Soraya was not without its challenges, but it was a life she had chosen for herself. She found happiness in the small joys of teaching and being a part of her community. Her story spread, inspiring many women to stand up for themselves and seek a life of dignity and respect. Kavya's journey was a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of resilience. It was a reminder that no matter how dark the path may seem, there is always hope for a new beginning.